Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is another high intensity workout, heavy duty workout. Now, this session was leg day, and I did finish it off with abs. So I start with the leg curls, and I do couple of warm up sets, and then straight away get into the working set. I usually do one or two working sets. Of course, I preach going to the failure, but I end up doing two sets, two working sets. I wouldn't go to the failure, but almost to the failure, because I would like to save some energy. So everything on almost all exercise I do three sets, a couple of sets of warm up, and one working sets, or at the most two working sets, except the leg press and other a couple of other exercises. There is a reason for that, and I'll get to that. Now, this was at the end of the workout, so basically I did three sets, which is like 30 reps, 30 reps, 30 reps each. Seated calf raises, right? The first set I did around 21 repetition, a pretty moderate weight, 10, 20, and 20. So I mean, the burn and the intensity is pretty high. I believe in high intensity workout, and this is one of the best workout for hypertrophy and having the natural gains. I don't take any supplements, no steroids, no peptides, no nothing, right? And basically I train maybe 3 days a week, or sometimes two, depending on my schedule. I used to train 5 days, but I have found my optimal results I would to get is by working 3 days a week, and I end up covering the complete body, as in the train the overall body by 3 days, sometimes by 2 days. So you can look at my calves, right? You can see the muscle, even though my body fat is pretty high, still you can see the muscle being worked. I think this kind of training style was started by Arthur Jones, Mike Mentzer, Casey Vieta. They all trained, right? I mean, one thing I would deviate from that kind of training is going to the absolute failure without a partner, and training frequency. So training frequency cannot be so low as like after 10 days or 11 days. I think I would like to train a bit frequent compared to that. As I said, 3 days a week, or sometimes 2 days a week, depending on how your body feels. So it's not like 3 days in a row. Maybe like I would train one day, take 2 days off, train the next, or train a couple of days and take the next 2 days off. So that's how I split it. In terms of choice of exercise, I do leg curls for hamstrings, leg press for overall quad, and I do use hack squat machine, and I do use squats varyingly. So if I'm gonna squat, I don't use the hack squat machine, and vice versa. But leg press is a staple one, because you can go on a heavy poundage. And as I was saying, I do not train just two sets. I progressively overload until I reach my top set, and then the top set I go all out, and almost to the failure. Make sure the form is right, and you feel the mind and muscle connection should be there. So all the nutty gains and natural gains I've got is following this kind of training. And trust me, if your nutrition is on par, you can make pretty significant gains, which I have already. And when you train naturally without any sort of supplements and steroids and stuff like that, you don't see a gradual decrease, or sudden decrease or sudden increase. So the exercises which I performed are leg curls, leg extension, leg press, seated calf raises, and finished off with abdominals. So you could see my form is pretty decent, and it's not like it's not more about the weight, but a progressive overload, at the same time good form. If you tend to do that with a mind and muscle connection and high intensity, definitely you're going to make a lot of gains. I would say subscribe to my channel and follow the journey. There are already few episodes which I have shot, and you can find them under the playlist. Pretty uh, decent training video, and this is more of a journey and my experiment in terms of documenting how much I can progress naturally following this routine, which I have always followed, but this time I am doing it for a complete session. Thank you. Bye.